Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel 32 Happy Teeth. So today we will be studying lichen planus. So let's start the video. Lichen planus, it is also known as lichen rubor planus, and it is a common mucocutaneous disease. What do you mean by mucocutaneous disease? It means that it occurs on mucous membrane as well as on the skin surface. Etiology, lichen planus is thought to be an autoimmune disease. And how does it damages our skin as well as mucous membrane? It's a T cell mediated damage. Okay, it's a T cell mediated damage to what? To the basal keratinocytes. And which are these T cells? These are CD4 plus and CD8 plus. So these CD4 plus and CD8 plus cells, they damage the basal keratinocytes. We will be discussing about a triad, and this triad, it's like this. Okay, here it's hypertension, here it's diabetes mellitus, and over here it's oral lichen planus. So what is this triad called? It is called as the Greenspan syndrome. Okay, so this triad of hypertension, diabetes mellitus and oral lichen planus is called as the Greenspan syndrome. So now the clinical features. The female is to male ratio is 1.4:1. So this lichen planus, it occurs on the skin as well as the mucosa. So we will study one by one how does it appear on skin and how does it appear on mucosa. Okay, on skin, how does it appear? It appears small, angular, it is a few millimeter in diameter, it has a papular form, and then the course of this papule. How does it start? In the early phases, it appears red in color, then it turns into reddish purple, and then finally in the later stage, it appears dirty brownish color. This papule is dirty brownish in color, but the center, it appears umbilicated. Okay, so the center of this papule, it appears umbilicated, and the surface of this papule, it is covered by very fine grayish white lines. White lines are called as the Wickham's stria. Okay. Now moving on to the mucosa part. How does it appear on the mucosa? On mucosa, these lesions, how does it appear? It appears radiating like this. Radiating like this. So it appears radiating, white in color or grey in color. It can appear velvety or thread-like papules, linear, reticular patches, rings or streaks. So these radiating white or grey lines, how they appear? They appear linear, reticular patches, rings or streaks. And where does it appear? It appears on the buccal mucosa. It appears mainly on the buccal mucosa, but it also appears on other parts such as lips, tongue and palate. But if they ask, so mainly it's buccal mucosa. Now, when these white lines, they radiate like this, they must be intersecting somewhere. So the point of intersection, this point of intersection, there is a white elevated dot. A tiny white elevated dot is present at the point of intersection of these white or grayish lines, and that is called as the Wickham's stria. So over here on the skin, how does it appear? It appears the surface covered by very fine grayish white lines called as the Wickham's stria, and over here on the mucosa, these white lines, when they intersect, there is a tiny white elevated dot present which is called as the Wickham's stria. So I will insert some pictures in between so that you can get a clear picture of how it appears on skin as well as how it appears on the mucosa.
So this is how oral lichen planus appears on the skin. If you can appreciate, just look at these red papules, and the center of this red papule. The center is umbilicated. Yes, and it is small. It is not very, these papules are not very large. They are just a few millimeters in size. This is oral lichen planus on the mucous surface. You can appreciate this area. See all of this is the white radiating lines. These are the radiating lines. This is called as the Wickham's stria.
Now moving on to the types. There are various types. The first one is reticular. The second is papular. and 7th is hypertrophy. Okay, so these are the 7 types of oral lichen planus which you will come across. So now let's start with the histopathology of oral lichen planus. I will insert a few histological diagrams, so that you will get a better understanding of how it appears histopathologically. There is a histological diagram, and then you know all about lichen planus in theory, but if you cannot correlate that theory with the diagram, then it will be of no use. So you will see sawtooth retipex, okay, like this. Okay, then you will see a band-like inflammatory infiltrate. So the inflammatory cells will infiltrate in a band-like form, like it will form a band sort of, okay, like a hair band sort of, okay. And in the basal cell you will see vacuolation, basal cell vacuolation you will see. Now there is hyperkeratosis. There is apoptotic bodies present. These apoptotic bodies are called as civet bodies or hyaline bodies or cytoid bodies, okay. And there are some spaces which you can how are these apoptotic bodies formed? What happens is when there is a T cell mediated damage, so this T cell mediated damage, it degenerates the basal keratinocytes. So what happens is, so when these basal keratinocytes are attacked, they form apoptotic bodies, okay, and hence these apoptotic bodies are called as the civet, cytoid, hyaline, etc. Okay, so what happens is when these basal keratinocytes are damaged or degenerated, so the anchoring filaments, so what are these anchoring filaments? These anchoring filaments are such as the hemidesmosomes, okay. So what do? This anchoring filament is also damaged. So when these anchoring filaments are damaged, the connective tissue and epithelium, this thing, epithelium over here, okay, and the connective tissue over here, so these anchoring filaments, they get damaged and there is a space formed, this space. These spaces are called as the Max-Joseph spaces, okay, Max-Joseph spaces. So now we are done with the histopathology. Let's look into the histopathological diagram.
Look, there is presence of apoptotic keratinocytes. These are the apoptotic keratinocytes. These are the apoptotic keratinocytes over here, this side. Look at this diagram. The lymphocyte cells, band of inflammatory infiltrate, the lymphocytic infiltrate, okay. Look at this, civet bodies, civet or cytoid or hyaline bodies. How are they formed? They are formed because of the degeneration of the basal keratinocyte. And how? By T cell mediated damage of the basal keratinocytes. Hypergranulosis, civet bodies, lichenoid band of inflammation. Look over here, the Sol area. There is inflammatory cell infiltrate. Can appreciate this entire area. Now this, look at the space between the epithelium over here. This epithelium ends, okay, like this, and the connective tissue is like this. So the space between this is called as the Max-Joseph space. This space, it develops because of the degeneration of the anchoring filaments. The anchoring filaments which join this epithelium and the connective tissues, these are damaged. Hence the development of Max-Joseph space. I hope this histopathology diagram is clear to you.
Coming to the treatment part. So as of now, there is no treatment or no cure for lichen planus, okay. But what can we do patient comes to us with the following disease, what do? First of all, we relieve the symptoms. Okay, so it's actually a symptomatic treatment. You provide a symptomatic treatment. Suppose if the patient is in pain, okay, you relieve the pain, painkillers and whatever it is. Then you try to reduce the chances of getting it converted into a malignancy. Okay, you prevent it. So, and third, maintain a good oral hygiene. Okay, so this is the main modality of treatment. There is no specific cure for oral lichen planus. So this was all for today. I hope you like this video. Hit like and do subscribe to my channel for more such informative videos. Thank you.